Are now joined by our race winner for today's Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief 500, Martin Truex Jr. Martin, congratulations on the win. It seemed like the race came to you, and you really took advantage of it when the time was right. Walk us through your final run there.
Yeah, it was, interesting how it all played out there. I thought throughout the day we were, third to fifth place car in there. And then at one point middle of the race, we got off a little bit and was probably sixth or seventh place car. So it was kind of a weird day, but, just proud of the guys for working hard on it. They did a great job. And, that last pit stop, we were able to get us the lead and couldn't quite hold off the 11 on that restart. He was really fast firing off and, just try to stay with him and take care of my car. I knew there was enough laps left that, tire wear in the long run was going to come into play. And, he started getting tight. My car was getting better and better. And, we were able to take advantage of it. So really happy. And, for whatever reason, our car really turned on when the lights went down. And it's always good when a plan comes together and it works out the way you hoped it would.
Good deal. We're going to go to questions. Our first question will come from Jordan Bianchi. Go ahead with the question, Jordan.
Martin, a couple questions for you. Start with, what's your line on racing a teammate and deciding when or when not to use the bumper?
It depends on the track, I guess. Here it was obvious that, we were quite a bit faster at that point when I caught the 11. And, he was racing as hard as he could to keep us back. But I knew if I was patient, I was going to be able to, complete the pass. So, I don't know. I've never really knocked a teammate out of the way. I don't know that there is a right time to do it. I guess it just depends on how you race each other normally and what your relationship is.
Good. And the second question, you last year won one race. You guys were very good at times, and it looked like you kind of typical performance for you guys, but just one win. Get back to victory lane twice this year already. Does it start to feel like this is 2019, 2018, those championship, years?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel really good about our team and overall what we can do this year. Our cars are strong and our team is strong. We've been together a long time. Obviously last year James was the new piece moving to crew chief, but man, he's done a great job. And last year, for whatever reason, it just seemed like we were missing the tiniest little things, and sometimes it wasn't even things we were doing wrong. It just was sometimes you feel like things aren't meant to be, honestly. But feeling good about it. Got a great team. Pit crew really stepped up today, and like I said, had a great stop on that last one, got us the lead, and we got all the tools necessary. Great sponsors, Bass Pro, Auto Owners, Reesers. I mean, TRD and Toyota, all they do for us. We have a great opportunity to win a lot of races, and hopefully we can take advantage of it this year more than we did last year.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next question is going to come from Kelly Crandall. Go ahead, Kelly.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, Martin, I got two for you. You mentioned the pit stop, the final pit stop there. Did you do anything different, or did it all come down to the pit crew? Because it just seemed like you got a much better launch to beat Denny out there.
I got the launch because I seen him coming. I knew it was going to be close, so really just tried to push it there. Honestly, that was really not a lot different than the time before on pit road. So I'd really look back and see if it was that much better, but you see an opportunity there, and it makes you kind of try to give a little extra. But overall, it was the same as the rest of the stops. I think the pit crew just stepped it up and did a good job on that last one.
And then on the restart where Denny, as you said, he got a better jump and took off there. Did that surprise you at all that he was able to do that on the outside? Because for the most part, the inside lane for the leader had been pretty dominant today.
It didn't really surprise me. I was pretty loose, so not surprised. He was really fast on restarts all day from what I could tell. And I was only around him on one of them, and he beat my back bumper off in the middle of the corner, just being so much faster than me. So I wasn't really surprised. I was a little too loose there to take off, and he was holding me down tight, which is he's supposed to. And, I just couldn't get the gas down. So not surprised at all, to be honest.
Our next question will come from Bob Pockris. Go ahead, the question, Bob.
Yeah, Martin, were you pretty confident that you'd be able to pass Denny without, having to do much drama, considering it looked like you had a stronger car than him?
It was weird. His car he was really good all night. And then that last run, it really looked like he flipped the switch and got tight, which, probably the sun going down. I don't know if they made adjustments to be able to fire off faster for a shorter run at the end, whatever. I don't know, whatever happened. his car really flipped the switch. So at that point, I was like, I know I can get by him. It's just I need to be patient, and no sense of pushing it with, plenty of laps left, and the 9 was still pretty far back.
Is it hard to be patient?
Not really. No, I mean, I'm 40, so it's I've learned over the years that you're better off being patient than not. It pays off in the long run usually.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our next question is going to come from Lee Spencer. Go ahead with the question, Lee.
Thank you. Congratulations, Martin. You said in your post-race to Steve Post that you never anticipated winning one Martinsville clock, and now you have 3. Why did you just not think that it was ever going to happen for you here at Martinsville?
You know what? It was never clicking, I mean, even at times where we could have decent runs, it was like 5th, 6th, 7th. I just felt like that's really all the best I could ever run here up until like 2015 or so. For whatever reason, I just could never get the car to do the things I wanted it to do. And it came a point where people told me they can't do those things that you want it to do. So then you're like, well, okay, maybe it can't do those things. And I just need to, figure out how to drive it the way it is. And that's kind of, after not having success at a track, it comes to a point where you really don't know what you need to do, or if it's even possible to do the things that you want to do. It's a real challenge. So I mean, I've just been lucky to have, to be with really good people, have really good cars, and have that communication, that belief in one another that you can make the thing do the things that you want it to do, and they know you're driving it right, and they know how to set it up, and you work together. And that's kind of where we've been, the past, really, I guess 6-7 years here. Just it's a place where it doesn't change all that much, other than depending on the tires that Goodyear brings, and you can really, just continue to work on similar things and refine those, and that's what we've been able to do here. So it's been awesome, and hopefully we can keep it going.
Do you have a place for the new clock?
Absolutely. I absolutely do.
Okay.
I'll make places. If I keep winning them, I will make places for them. I promise you.
Super. Good luck.
It's not a problem.
Safe travels.
Thanks. You too.
We're also joined by today's winning crew chief, James Small. James, walk us through your win from your perspective.
It was a little bit of a shit show, really, but we worked all week on racing last night. Yeah, well, it was. Don't deny it. But, it was very different to how we've won here before. Usually we've had a pretty dominant car and led a lot of laps, but this week we had the battle, and I think the track starting off this afternoon was quite a lot different to what we've experienced here in the last few races, where we've been really strong, and we struggled and chipped away at it, but it wasn't until the final stage. I think the cautions were kind of helping us, taking the rubber off the track, not allowing it to rubber in, and we kept adjusting a little bit, and that delay and everything, like it finished so late, the conditions actually got back and the track turned back to pretty similar to how, the last few races, and, all those things just lined up, and, at the end there, Denny had been, exceptional on a short run all day. So no matter what lane we picked, it was going to be hard to, hold him off. And I knew, we could come back at him. Us on the 12 were pretty good on the long run. Thankfully, he went to the back. So, it kind of all just worked out for us.
Yeah, we're going to continue on with questions. Our next question will come from Steve Conley from PRN. Go ahead with your question, Stephen.
Congratulations, Martin. I'm kind of curious in regards to you're tracking down Denny. You've got how good he's been on the short run, but how good you were on the long run. Is there something a little extra special being able to pass somebody late for a win after they've been as dominant as they were?
Yeah, it's always a good feeling. You never want to be on the other end of it. I've certainly been on the losing end of plenty of races where we've dominated, and I know how it feels. It sucks, but at the end of the day, these races are really, really long. A lot can change, and you really just got to hope that things play out the way you need it to. So, for whatever reason, his car just got really tight there with, I want to say 20, 30 to go, whatever it was, whenever we made the pass, and our car was really strong at that point. So we we took our lumps and battled really hard all day to for that end result to pay off. So feels good, and it's nice when things work out the way you need them to in your favor at the end of a race.
And is there a little bit of relief being able to get that second win? The way the first of this year has gone, 7 different winners. Now you're the first repeat winner. Little relief kind of going into the middle portion of the year.
I don't know about relief. Just it's exciting. To be here with 2 wins at this point in the season. To compare to last year. Well, it's always good. You always want to do better than past previous years. So having 2 wins this early is great. It's good for points. It's good for playoff points. And, we need to keep racking them up.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our final question for Martin is going to come from Dustin Long. Go ahead with the question, Dustin.
Thank you, Martin, and James, maybe you can also answer this as well. Martin, for a long time, one of the storylines was you weren't able to win at a short track. You've now won, I think this is your 5th win in the last 11 short track races. So you've nearly won half the short track races for a guy who, seemingly couldn't win on the short track. What do you feel like has changed? I'm sure some of it's equipment and what that's allowed you to do in this period to kind of have this dominance. And James, from your perspective, what you kind of seen or what you've been able to do in the role of engineer crew chief through that time to help Martin. Thanks.
Dustin, for me, it's just been what I mentioned a little while ago, and it's confidence in each other, believing in each other. And, there was a time in my career when, I go back to the Busch Series days, all the races I won there were short tracks. We never won any mile and a half. And I'm like, well, damn, I need to get better at mile and a half. And then, you work on that. And in the Cup Series, it's, every track is tough. Everybody's working constantly on being better at every type of track. But, for whatever reason, for me, the short tracks never really panned out. And even though we had a lot of great runs over the years, for instance, I think we led the most laps at Richmond, like 3 or 4 races in a row where we finally won there. It's sometimes you need things to go your way, but honestly, I think from a consistency standpoint of being consistent at these short tracks, it comes down to people and equipment and, that belief in each other. And, as I mentioned, especially at Martinsville, being able to just work on similar things year after year with the same group of guys for the most part, and continuing to, improve on small things and really just, believe in what they're telling you. If they tell me I need to drive it a certain way, I start driving a certain way. And if I know, if I tell them that it needs to do something different, they know it needs to do something different. And, it's just that team chemistry that we've had over the years has been really good. And we've been able to fine tune on these places.
Exactly what he said.
Yeah.
I like that synergy there. Well, Martin, congratulations on the win and good luck next week at Richmond.
Thanks, buddy. See you guys.
Okay, we're going to continue on here with James. Our first question for James is going to come from Kelly Cramble. Go ahead, Kelly.
Thanks, James. I got 2 for you. Can you just further elaborate on your view of this being a shit show?
Yeah. It was a struggle. We didn't start off well. Yeah, we ran in the top 5, the most part of the day, aside when it got from a little crazy with all the different people coming and going and staying out. And, I think we were as far back as 12th a couple of times and then battled back through and caution. It's just, we couldn't get into a flow. And I felt like, we had a somewhat decent car on a long run, but it wasn't great. And we weren't great on a short run. And we still need to be better. We didn't have the pace of the 11 on the 12, and we tried a couple of things, went the wrong way, and then came back on them and did a few other things. And finally, that 3rd stage, I think we hit on something. Martin gave really good feedback, exactly what he needed, and it kind of all started making sense. And I think the track came to us a little bit there. So, it was just all over the shop. It was a bit of a blur, to be honest. And then pit crew did a great job at the end there as well on that final stop. So.
And then you were naturally very animated on the radio, very excited, never give up, all that. How much of that, if anything, is also a bit of relief to just get a second win in a season after, as was well documented, you talked about earlier this week, just missing out last year on so many?
Yeah, it's definitely a relief. There was, quite a number of races last year where we had the best car and, things didn't go right at the end. And that's a real punch in the guts every time that happens. And, you know, it's even sweeter when you're coming from behind and, you know, you battled all day. And, you know, I feel like that's what's really good. No matter what happens with our team, you know, whether it's Martin, the guys behind the wall, you know, everybody, we just keep trying and never give up, you know, and, you know, finally we got there. And, you know, we've lost some races like that. You know, last year we lost one where we led for a lot of it and got past at the end. And it's gut-wrenching. It's good to finally do it to somebody else. So, you know, we got a bit excited there on the radio at the end.
Our next question will come from Davey Segal. Go ahead with the question, Davey.
Yeah, James, you guys have won at arguably the two most important tracks of the year, with Martinsville and Phoenix being the last two races of the year. Did you put an extra point of emphasis at those two tracks going into the year, or did this kind of just happen by chance that you guys were really good when it counted?
Yeah, not really. We've probably put, you know, a little bit less emphasis on this track, to be honest. We've been so good here, and it's just a, you know, small refinement of the package every time we come back. We pinpoint things that we probably need to do a little bit better last time, and just small tweaks, because it's so hard with no practice. You don't want to, you know, especially a track like this, which not very aero sensitive. It's, you know, all mechanical related. It's like you can't afford to go out on a, you know, out on some tangent on some philosophy or theory or whatever. Like, you just got to stick with what's worked and refine that. And I feel like that's why, you know, a lot of it, it's the same guys that are running good here all the time. It's the 9, the 12, the 11, you know, 22s there, like all those guys. And we all obviously have something that our drivers, you know, like, and it responds well, and we just keep bringing similar stuff back. So, no, it's just we put far more effort into the tracks we sucked at. So hopefully we get better at them.
So Martin's got 3 clocks now. He's got 2 with you. Is there any chance that he would give you one, or are you going to have to earn one yourself?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. I don't want one. They don't really, you know, they don't really fit in my small apartment. So, and if I ever decide to go back to Australia one day, that's going to be a nightmare. So, you know, I'll just keep the memories.
Cool. Thank you, James.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Jacob Seelman. Go with the question, Jacob.
Thanks, Matt. James, congratulations. 2 questions for you. First, you had been under Cole and worked with Martin for a couple of years, but last year was really your first time getting thrown to the fire and leading this team. The success that you guys have had now to start the year, is this a case of everything coming together and you and Martin finding the rapport you need with one another, or was, you know, last year and only having the one win more circumstances than necessarily trying to get comfortable?
Yeah, I feel like last year, you know, we were pretty comfortable as well, you know, especially after we came back from the COVID break and started getting rolling there. You know, I think it's more just us getting better at this no practice racing. Obviously, and us understanding how the track is to start these races and how it evolves with, you know, when it starts with not too much rubber and things like that. But obviously, I'm a lot more comfortable now. Just dealing with the whole thing, the whole situation, you know, what to expect on a weekly basis now. You know, and gelling, you know, with the guys more and the communication, all those things. Like, I've known everybody forever, but it just feels more comfortable now. It's like, so, you know, that's a big part. And I think, you know, I've known what Martin needs. He knows what he needs. It's always been about us just trying to put it together. And I think, you know, it's just things are clicking again. They're going right. They're not going wrong. You know, like, that's what happened a lot last year. So it's nice. Hopefully it continues.
How rewarding are the days like today when you don't have the fastest car, you don't have a dominant car like what your teammate had, and yet you keep digging, you find a way to come out on top and, you know, make the right changes late?
Yeah, to be honest, this feels like even sweeter than any other one we've had. You know, it was just a weird day. It was difficult, but it's definitely really nice feeling. I went tonight, and it's nice. You know, the 11 did that to us at Dover last year. We led a lot of the race, and he passed us late and won because he had a better car. Ours kind of went away a little bit, and, you know, similar thing happened. So, you know, it comes and goes, and I'm sure it'll happen. Probably happen to us at some point later in the year, but you know, it's definitely sweet. That's for sure.
Our next question will come from Ashley McCubbin. Go ahead with the question, Ashley.
Hey, James, congratulations on the win. You talk about being able to find what the car wanted at the end of the race and be strong when it mattered. How much did the track change from daytime to nighttime?
Yeah, I definitely think, you know, it was slick and it was getting a lot tighter. It started with rubber on it, it was taking a little more rubber, but then, you know, as it cooled off and, you know, I think those series of cautions, it just, you know, in short runs, it never allowed it to, you know, rubber back up. And you know, we were pretty bad, like tight for a while there. And we started going the wrong way. And, you know, it kind of played into our hands a little bit. You know, the 11, I think, still got tight at the end there, but, you know, we were maybe just a little bit ahead on adjustments compared to them. And, you know, it definitely helped. And also with it cooling down, I think it just got back more into our wheelhouse and more where our overall setup is a little more happy based on the last 3 years, the last 3 races.
And you guys are now the first team to win two races this season. And as Davey mentioned, 2 of the most important tracks on the schedule. How does it feel to have everybody looking towards the 19 team as the early championship favorite, perhaps?
No, it's definitely nice. It's definitely better than looking like a pack of losers. So, you know, it's good. And hopefully we can just continue this trend now because, you know, as we all know, it's all about accumulating bonus points and getting through those rounds. You know, and it's definitely nice to have won at 2 of the most important tracks. And, you know, there's plenty more we need to knock off and get better at to make sure we make a really good run at later in the year.
Thank you for your time.
Looks like we have one more question from Dustin Long. Go ahead with the question, Dustin. Yep, that must be an old hand. Well, James, congratulations on the victory and making the most of this show tonight, and good luck next week in Richmond.
All right, thank you very much.